All right, hockey fans, welcome to the 2020-21 season of Wolves Hockey Show. We're excited to be bringing back the hockey season for you and more of Wolves hockey. Coach Kuhns, tell me about your off season. What brought us to this point? How has the early part of the season been so far?
Yeah, off season was good. I guess a little different this year, but definitely happy to be back and going and being on the ice, coaching and seeing all the players on the ice. And so far, start of the season has been great. So, yeah, definitely happy to be here.
Me too. We had such an abrupt end to the season. It was totally uncharted territories for the program. And kind of the world ended on March 15th. But we got back to work. We got back with filling our rosters, and that we're excited about having here this year. We got work onto the schedule. We got new exciting improvements to our facilities, and the teams are looking solid. It's exciting.
Yeah, definitely. It's always fun to be playing hockey, right? So it's good.
Absolutely. Now we have a couple great clips coming up here. The first one's of our U14s. Coach, tell me how about the U14s and how they're doing so far in their early going.
Yeah, I think U14s are doing great. Last weekend had a tournament, made it to the finals against a good team. They fell short, but Coach Guerin has those guys playing really well so far, and they're all improving each week, each day. So that's what it's all about.
We have some clips we're going to show you of the Waterville Valley tournament. So here's clips of the White Mountain Shootout. The New England Wolves U14 team traveled up to Waterville Valley this past weekend and faced some great competition. They won the first two games to put themselves in a position to play for the championship on Sunday. Some great performances by Paolo Vasquez and Evan Guerin to push the team forward. They met the East Coast Wizards, which are a nationally ranked team, on Sunday, and they lost 4-1, but it was a great team effort.
Now, Coach, your team, U16's also off to a great start. Can you give us an update on that team?
Yeah, so the U16 team was in action this past weekend. We had one game. It was on Sunday down at Tri-Town Arena in Hooksett, New Hampshire. We played a team that we played 2 weeks prior, the East Coast Spartans, which are a member of the United Tier 1 Hockey League. 2 weeks ago, we lost to them 3-1, but I think the teams come together at the right time. They're starting to pull on the same rope, and we had a 6-0 victory. A lot of great performances. We had 4 different goal scorers in that game, and then obviously Gage Lamontagne played really well in nets. We're going to show you a clip of that right now. So this is early in the first period against the East Coast Spartans on Sunday. The day line has been playing really well for us. That's Charles Day up the middle, centering Nick Therian and Cam Young. Charles wins the faceoff, gets the puck to the net. Nick drives the net, and the Wolves are able to take an early 1-0 lead. That really gave the team a lot of confidence, and they built off that as the game went on. Final score for this game, 6-0, Wolves win. So, Coach, the U16 team is really starting to play pretty good hockey now. It's a lot of young kids, some of them for their first time in the program. Who stood out to you on the 16s?
Yeah, I think a couple guys. Charles Day, I think, is a good player for that team. But, I think a lot of guys can take some big jumps this year. So excited to see how they progress. Yeah,
actually, in last weekend, Nick Therian, a player who's been in the program for a couple of years, he had played pretty well for the first 2 weeks and earned a call up to the EHLP team. So that was nice to see that upward mobility and a kid getting recognized for his efforts.
Definitely.
Now, Coach, tell me about the U18s team.
Yeah, U18s, after a little bit of a slow start, had a great weekend. Last weekend they won 5-2 against New Hampshire East, and then won 8-1 in their second game. So definitely a good past weekend for that team, and they look to be going in the right direction.
Yeah, I think it's 3 straight victories for that team. So it's a pretty good turnaround.
Yeah, definitely.
We got a clip we'll show you right now. So here's some of Saturday's action. Zoltan Steffen gets the puck to the net. Great finish by Eric Ellingson. He's from Guilford, New Hampshire, plays local high school here. He had a great finish on that play.
And Andrew, also our 2 oldest teams, the 2 junior teams, were also in action. How about our EHL Premier? How have they been doing so far?
They've done really well. It's a lot of new faces on that roster. We only have a couple of returners from last year's team because we moved so many kids up from our EHLP onto our EHL team. And Coach Connor Bates has done a great job with them early on, kind of getting them ready for game action. In their 5 games so far, They played 2 one-goal games, and then they won this past Sunday. So there's shows of steady progress on that roster. On Sunday, they played the Valley Junior Warriors and won 10-4, and we have a clip. We're going to show you that one. So second period action here. The Wolves had a nice lead early on in the second. This is Jake Marcoux. Made a nice play to get the puck to the net, followed his rebound, and had a great finish. Jake is a local player here who's grown within our program, going from our 16s to our 18s and now on our premier team. And that stood up to be the game winner, as it was the 5th goal for the Wolves in the second period. So here's some third period action for the Wolves EHLP. Great play, individual effort made by Landon Crawford. He's a returning player from Prosper, Texas. That puck rang off the crossbar. And another segment here coming up is a great play by Adam Hoff. He's a new player on the EHLP team. He had 2 goals in the game. Used some of his abilities here to make a nice play coming out of the zone. This EHLP team seems to be coming together at the right time. They had a great third period in the 10-4 victory. So, Coach, tell me about some guys that are standing out for you on the EHLP team.
Yeah, I think, as you mentioned, Hoff has been a strong player up front. Also think Hoff Teaser is another player who's already played in an EHL game. And then on defense, Rico Valentini is a top D in that league, so also the captain of that team. So those guys have really stood out.
Absolutely. Now, Coach, tell me about our EHL team. How did they do last weekend?
So last weekend we had 2 games against Valley Junior Warriors and Connecticut Chiefs on Sunday. Team won both games. Brings us to 3-0 on the season. So obviously it's been a really good start for us.
Absolutely. We got some clips we'll show you right now.
Yeah, here we have a clip from the game on Saturday night against the Valley Junior Warriors. In the third period was a good defensive play by Andreas Mateka. And then new player Andrew Lantry made a great play, won a battle, and made a really nice finish. That was a big goal for the team at that time in the game, and ended up getting the victory. And then this clip is from Sunday afternoon game against the Connecticut Chiefs. Returning player Gabriel Chadoin made a great individual effort to steal the puck there behind the net, and a nice finish. The team won 3-0, and also improves to 3-0 on the season.
So, Coach, great start for the EHL team, 3-0. You can't really ask for much better than that. Who's stood out for you?
Yeah, I think first, both our goaltenders who've played have been really solid, LJ Newell and Kyle Penton. Kevin Bite, returning player on defense. I think he'll be one of the top players in the league this year. And then some good performances up front to Dennis Danilov, Gabriel Jadoin, Donnie Feldman have some good forwards this year too. So definitely been a good effort from the whole group though, the first 3 games.
Yeah. There's a lot of strong competition in the Northern Conference, and we're certainly right in the mix there. Who else? What are the teams we got to keep on our radar, do you think?
Yeah, I don't know. We're 5th in the power rankings, even though we're undefeated. So I don't know how that works. But, Boston Junior Rangers always have a good team. New Hampshire Avalanche. So, we'll be looking to be playing hard against those guys this year.
Absolutely. Well, we have a great young player for us coming on. He's a 2000 birth year player. He's got a great backstory. We have an interview coming up with Jameson Bork. So we welcome onto the Wolves Hockey Show, New Hampshire-born goaltender Jameson Bork. Welcome aboard.
Thanks, Coach. Pleasure to be here.
Now, Jamo's got a unique backstory. He's a local player. We don't have a ton of local New Hampshire kids on our rosters. You're one of the exceptions to the rule, but you've had kind of a unique upbringing. Why don't you tell me about your hockey background?
So I've played New Hampshire hockey my whole entire life. Never really played at the elite level. Played D3 high school here for my high school team. Won 2 state championships with them. Hit the 1,000 career mark for saves, which I believe was the first for my team, which is pretty excited to have that. Just pretty much came aboard here, was looking up to play some juniors. Knew that the Wolves were a good team and good program to go to. I'd be able to experience and grow. So now I'm here.
Great. Well, JMO came to us in the 2018-19 season towards the end of the year and started to practice with the program and get a feel for some of the guys. And then you had a pretty debilitating injury. Why don't you tell us about what happened and what prevented you from playing really the last year and a half?
Yeah, so going into my senior year of high school, around November, I had just turned 18, ended up getting an injury in my knee, went to the doctors, figured out that I need to have cartilage replaced in my knee and need to have my tibia realigned at the same time, which was pretty tough to hear at such a young age with so much time left. My doctor told me that as long as I could handle the pain, I could play through it and finish out my high school career. So I went ahead, finished out my high school career, won my second state championship with my team, came to some practices with the Wolves, figured out trying to see where I'd fit in, see if I'd be able to make a team or be able to compete. And then shortly after my high school season in late March, had the first surgery to see how bad everything really was. And then August of last summer is when I had my surgery done. Was like a 5-hour surgery. Had 2 doctors in my OR. Ended up with 38 staples to close up my scar. So it was pretty gnarly to go through.
Wow. And but I think one of the positive things was all during that process you stayed involved in hockey. It wasn't like you went off to school, gave up the dream. You wanted to remain committed to playing at the next level. So JMO was a part of coming to all our games in that 2018-19 the playoff run we had. And then here last year, you were a huge asset to the organization in terms of helping with our game day prep, helping with the guys in the locker room. Tell us about that experience a little bit.
Yeah, so I mean, once after coming to a couple of the practices the year before I got injured, or the year that I got injured, wanted to come up, support the guys because they were always interested about how I was doing, interested in my season. And I knew some of the guys just from getting close to them the 2 days I was up here, a few days. So I came along to support them in their journey throughout the playoffs to winning their championship in the EHLP. And then last year, you guys were very nice to me and allowed me to come up, work out with the guys every day, be a part of practice, games, and kind of just help out. Let me set up the bench for home games and away games, fill up waters, help guys in the locker room, whether it was taping sticks, putting visors on helmets or cages on. Did a little sewing here and there, ran the clock and did music for home games, and just tried to do whatever I could to help out off the ice because I couldn't help out on the ice.
Well, you were a big help off the ice. I think everybody in the building really appreciated having you here. But now tell us about that experience of getting the pads on for the first time. So, you were kind of holed up from March of 2019, and then it was kind of a whole year before you put the pads back on. That was probably, I don't think you started to practice really until maybe February last year. Tell us what it was like once you first got those pads back on.
Yeah, so February came around. My doctor gave me the okay to start skating again. It was supposed to just be like public skate, trying to get back to the motions. But you allowed me to come out, help with practices, whether it was warming up the goalies or setting up drills, just to kind of get my feet back underneath me, get back into conditioning. And then March is when I got the okay to put full gear on, take some shots, go all the way down. And that was just huge because I'd have the guys that would cheer me on for everything, every step of the way. They were there for me. You guys were always proud to hear of how well I've come along. So everything was just a big boost. And the last step of getting the pads on was just really, really important to me.
Yeah. Well, you're a good story of perseverance and adversity and pushing through all that. But then you had another hang up, right? So you do all that preparation. You do the full recovery. You have these big surgeries. And then all of a sudden, March 12th, the world changes. Maybe no season for 2020-21 because we have COVID-19 hit the U.S. What did you do to kind of mentally stay invested in being part of the team for the 2021 season? And what'd you do for over the summer to get up to game speed?
So over the summer, once COVID first hit, I did as much as I could at home workouts to stay in shape and get back into shape. Because I knew after being out of it for 6 months, I was going to be a while to get back to where I needed to be. So I did home workouts 3 times a week. In April, I started working with Coach Lou up here at Wolves Training Center doing his goalie workouts. I started a private training session over in Exeter with GDS. That was twice a week, was on ice and off ice. And I found out that Coach Lou's workouts really helped me get back and get ready to being on the ice. So I had my on ice for 8 weeks. At the end of those 8 weeks, went out with Coach Lou again, helped out with a week-long camp up in Waterville Valley with a bunch of the Little Lakers. They allowed me to be a junior counselor, so I got to help coach kids, but also get coached at the same time, which was really nice and really helped me improve my game a bunch. And then right after that, the season started.
Yeah, well, it's certainly been a journey, that's for sure.
Yes.
But now you're here. You earned the number 1 goaltender spot on our EHLP team. You earned that through your play in camp. You had a great scrimmage against the New Hampshire Avalanche. You had a great game against the Walpole Express, and then another 1-goal game against the Avalanche again on Tuesday. Early season thoughts. What do you think of the team? What do you got to do to get to where you want to be? And what is the season outlook?
I mean, we've been playing all right. Just kind of trying to gel together, get the first period jitters out. We always seem to come out slow, which seems to be our downfall. But this Sunday's game came out fast for the first period, end up with a big lead, which really helps out. So I think as long as we can do that, we'll have a solid season.
I couldn't agree more. And then what's your plans for 2021, 22? What's your plans for the future?
Hoping to go play college hockey, try and get my degree as well in sports management. Wouldn't mind being an equipment manager after college and all that stuff. So that way I can still be a part of the game that I love. Maybe make some money doing it and keep the memories coming.
Well, that's awesome. Well, Jameson Bork, really great to have you finally be able to play hockey in this building. You've done a great job. You've worked really hard to get here, and looking forward to you having a great year.
Thanks, Coach.
So, Coach, really great story about Jameson Bork. What have been your early thoughts about him so far this season, and what's been your impressions of JMO as a person?
Yeah, I think definitely shows great character to come back from serious injury, and he's played really well so far this season.
Yeah, it's exciting to see where, a good story for a lot of kids. That you got to persevere sometimes and overcome things if you want to get what you want. And he wants to play hockey, that's for sure.
Definitely.
Now tell me about the U14s. What do they have upcoming this weekend?
So up this weekend, they're playing the Cyclones. So it should be a tough matchup for those guys. So I'm sure Coach Guerin has them ready to go.
Yeah, that's their first GSL games. So starting into our local opponents would be really good.
Yeah, definitely. How about your team, U16s? What do they have this weekend?
U16s, we're kind of looks like we're going to have a game Saturday. That's still a opponent to be determined, but we will be playing Sunday against the New England Stars. They're a program out of Tingsboro, Mass, and they always have some really competitive teams. So another test for us as we compete against these bigger, larger programs. Talk about the 18s.
Yeah, so 18s will be having some rematches against the 2 teams they faced last weekend. So hopefully we can get some similar results there.
Yeah, keep the win streak alive, that's for sure.
Definitely, yeah. And so to the junior teams, we have what's the Premier look like coming up?
Premier has a game Friday and then a game the following Wednesday. On Friday, they play the Valley Junior Warriors again. They're going to look to get some similar results as that they had this past Sunday. And then on the following Wednesday, they play Maine Eclipse, which is a new team in the league. And I think there's a really great opportunity for them to play against some teams that they can really have some success on and build that confidence, which is a lot of young guys in that room. That's what they really need right now, some confidence. Now tell me about the EHL team. What do they got?
So on Wednesday, we have the Seahawks Hockey Club at home, and then 2 more games this weekend against Valley and East Coast Wizards. So some more games on the schedule here.
There'll be some great opponents. Those are all on home ice, right?
Yeah, that's right, all in Laconia.
So fans can come on out. We are allowing fans in the building. It's been a different environment a little bit with that. People, when they come in the building, they do have to wear masks. There's no snack bar open, but it's still some entertaining hockey, and you're seeing some great results out of the Wolves team.
Yeah, definitely. I know the players love having everyone to watch the game. So,
yeah, cool. Well, Coach, where can they find more information on the program?
Yeah, so for more information, can go on our website, ne-wolveshockey.com.